Welcome to Building Your Online Business Presence Successfully. Let's go. Do you need help reaching your business goals? Do you have a professional website? Does it represent you well? Are you getting the results you expect and need? If you still don't have a business website, now this is a great opportunity to design it correctly. The most successful website designs are easy to navigate for users and encourage customer behaviors that help business achieve their goals. Great websites load quickly, they perform well, they include essential information, and display a clean and consistent design with good use of colors and images. So they provide a good user experience and they have to stay on brand to provide a good seamless experience throughout the different touch points, especially in a multi-channel environment where everybody is interacting with your brand in multiple different platforms in the digital space, but also in the physical space. The design of business websites involves strategic planning for your website's content and its appearance, colors, layouts, and fonts. Small business owners create websites for many reasons, including like websites uh, help legitimize your business. Customers look for business online and may not discover yours if you don't have one. Customers research before buying, don't you? I do. And your website can answer common questions like business hours, location, prices, products, etc. Websites also give you a voice in what is said about your business online because you control that real estate and it's yours. They serve also as a foundation for for your digital advertisement and a hub for other online properties, such as your social media, for example. They can be easily updated as your business grows and evolves. Depending on your business models, websites also can adapt and respond to your specific needs. Now let's try to answer a few questions here. What is the average cost of website design for small businesses? Well, in general, the cost of a website design for a small business varies. The average cost of a business website ranges from around between 3,000 to 10,000. I mean, it's a little bit of spread there, but it kind of ranges in that between space. And this is assuming that we're working with a professional web designer. And this includes a one-time design fees and the annual site maintenance. And so then what you could expect to pay, really can be from like $0 to have a website created by you, or maybe like even a $20,000 for a website that has a lot of functionality and a very customized specific functions that can only be accomplished by working with specific programmers, for example. So some small business owners have simple website needs and choose to design their websites themselves using a free template on a website builder. Particularly, I specialize on WordPress websites, and that's kind of my go-to tool. And I recommend it quite a bit because it has a lot of different benefits like scalability. It's always updated. There's a huge community behind it. But anyway, so there's like other platforms as well, and many of them operate in the same way. They offer free templates so you can start building your own website. In some cases, you only have to pay for a domain registration and your hosting fees. Others have more complex needs to hire professional websites designers. Depending on where you're at, each path is different, and the budget it can be also different for each business. But there's different opportunities there. So when planning a budget for a website design, you have to include some of the different elements, like for example, a domain registration. So this is usually like an annual fee. And it ranges kind of between $10 and to $20 a year. Also, like your web hosting, where your website is going to live on the cloud, right? And this it really can vary from like $5 to $100 a month, and based on like what kind of features you're looking for, like speed, if you're looking for optimization and specific platforms, if you're incorporating SSL security features for e-commerce website, for example, or if you're looking to use like enhanced themes or templates from a website builder that it comes at a premium price. A professional web design or agency, it may be necessary, and that can add up to the cost. Additional costs may include, like for example, adding some additional functionality like a POS, such as like let's say a Square, for example, or other plugins that are going to provide specific functionality to the website. And we can't forget about like SEO functionality, SEO optimization, to make your website more uh, easy to discover on, when people are looking for specific things on web searches, etc. Now let's talk about how to plan your website step by step. In many cases, your website forms the first impression of your business for your clients. And you know how it says, and this is so true, that first impression, it's so important. And also that perception of the business based on that first impression, it can really determine whether somebody wants to engage with your business or how they judge your business of the quality of the work. Even if the quality of the work is, 100 points and your website quality is like really bad, if that's provide a bad experience, they can only imagine what the end result is going to be of engaging in business with you if your website is not good, right? And the same way, like you can have the most beautiful website and not deliver up to the standards. So you're going to, it has to be consistent from the this first impression that your website provides all the way through, building a relationship with the client even after, post sale. You want to keep them interested with your website. You want to keep them engaged while also making them feel like secure doing business with you. Through this website as well, you can achieve this through having good web design. For example, you need to reflect on the goals of your small business and consider how they inform your goals for your website. This will help your identity, the main purpose of your site. It is, if the purpose of your site is, let's say, boosting sales. If it's boosting online sales and not in a store, or maybe it's in a physical store, your website goals are different, and how you should present information, it can be different as well. You need to create and nurture a community, that for people that can want to get to know you and build confidence and trust with them? Or are you looking to simply inform customers about a basic business information? So, like, the goals are different, and you have to have that very clear from the get go. Because as you continue building the website throughout this process, every call to action and really how you funnel the information and how you channel your client to get certain actions, to certain calls to action, they have to be in alignment with those main goals that you determine at the beginning. So once you have determined the main use of your site, you can use that as a starting point for your website. And then you can follow some of these steps. Like, for example, you got to choose and register a unique domain name. As I already described, you got to select a hosting provider where your site is going to reside, where is it going to live. You need to plan the content for the website and organize information into like distinct web pages. You also got to choose a website builder, or you can hire a professional web designer. So selecting a template has has the right look and feel. It's probably a good way to do it also at the beginning, as long as you can align that with your brand and brand it to your specific ways of colors, the logo, the type of language they use, the typography and everything. It can be the right option for you. Just make sure that you always review a new site before you publish anything, so that way you know that you have checked all, you have crossed all the dots and t's, as far as making sure that there's no miss uh, a misspelling, for example, or maybe something isn't communicated properly on the website. And then you also have to make sure that the website quickly loads on devices and browsers, whether they're like small devices like iPhones or Androids, and also like on a laptop, whether it's a widescreen laptop or just like a standard monitor, because it will render differently. Now, let's mention some of the essential elements of a successful website. Well, success boils down to intuitive navigation, quick loading times, well-written text, and a visually appealing design. That is very important. So, should your website include? Well, a simple URL, that's the beginning, or domain name, right? A URL that's easy to remember. Why? Because most companies use names and URLs that are associated with the business name and with what the industry is or what the product is, right? Depending on, and there's like different approaches that can help them maintain brand consistency, but also that ensures that customers can find them online, and that they can, if they can remember your name exactly how it's written, then there are more chances that will return to visit you. If your exact name is not available, well, think of ways to incorporate your business name or your main product or service offer. Keep it short for easy recall. Things like shorter URLs are better for marketing and for advertising efforts because they fit better on printed materials, and they're also easier to keep in mind for consumers in their mind, right? They're easier to remember. It's also another successful element here to have consistent branding, as I already described. Using the same color palette of your brand as it's been designed and considering your suggested in your brand guide, and the styling, the font style, the type of the type of voice, how it's everything is written, and everything should be all aligned with your brand. This applies across all your digital and physical business properties. So the experience should be the same. It should be a seamless experience. So when they experience your website, when they go to your social media channels, when they interact with your brand, let's say on any other platforms, or like even in through pamphlets or brochures, and when they go and visit your store, or when they receive sales reps, they have to have some sort of a way that they can quickly identify and tie it all together. This applies again to all digital and physical properties. Now, when you upload also images, it's important to make sure that they don't not only align with your brand's look, but they're also optimized for a reduced loading time, so that you ensure that you're also going to be providing, like a good upload speed for websites. So that's always a good practice for a good user experience for those visitors of yours. And this kind of helps also with improving your bounce rate. If you don't know what a bounce rate is, when somebody gets to your website and then it just takes forever, it's just confusing, it's overwhelming, they just click away, then you're just losing someone that you work so hard to bring. So it is important that you consider all of these different design elements to try to provide a good experience from the moment somebody lands on your website, so then they can feel compelled again to stay for longer, to discover more, to engage more with the information that you present there. We can't forget about search engine optimization. So it is important that you, throughout your content creation, throughout the information that you provide in the images and the pages, titles, and so forth, to include the keywords that are relevant to the business, and more importantly, that they talk to the pain points of your target audience. So then, when they're looking for information that it pertains and is related to how to solve their problems, how to solve what it hurts to them, then the search engines can identify that you are one of those solvers of those problems that they are facing. Also, it's important that you take the time to write like the meta titles and the meta descriptions for each one of the pages. And it's a little more technical, but these are important steps that you need to consider. You gotta also ensure that the page displays a clear call to action button to direct visitors. And I must say, like you have to be like real careful on how many calls to action that you present. It's best to reduce as many as you can, right, within reason. And you also have to think about like, okay, where is in this uh, new visitor in their buyer's journey, right? If they're new to the brand, you're not going to ask for a sale. But if they're new to the brand, maybe you want them to know about your social media. Maybe you want them to subscribe to your e-newsletter, so you can retarget and you can keep them, being reminded about your business with your different marketing efforts. Well, and then in terms of like what pages to include, well, like a homepage for sure, right? Just make sure that the homepage is captivating and it has like concise text, and including striking calls to action to help visitors find what they need. Okay, so like your unique value proposition is so important, and then just think why you and why not somebody else. So you got to tell somebody like really clearly, and very quickly, very clearly, what it is that you do, how you help and solve their problem, and why or how you're different from somebody else, right? Otherwise, you're not unique. You become a commodity, and they're gonna go to anybody else. The about us page, well, like that's where you share your business core values, your mission, your vision, your story. Your reason to exist, why that matters to you, why that matters to your clients, what inspired you to do what you're doing. the team behind the scenes, in all of these different values. So you can include that on the also the page. You need to have a page that is like a seal the deal type of page. If you are an e-commerce store, well, that's going to be your products page. If you're looking to get as an objective for people to book on calls with you as discovery calls or intake calls, well, you can probably take them to a tool like, for example, like Calendly, right? Or if you use Google Workspace, well, something of that sort as well, that they can just right away go to your calendar, see what's available, and pick a session with you. Or maybe if your goal is to book for services you're going to provide and you wanted to pay in advance before you provide this service, you can also use tools, probably available in tools maybe like Square, for example. And there's like many other tools. Or if you're taking like online payments, well, maybe you want to make sure that you add or you need to add in order to provide facilitating the process to seal the deal. So this is very important. And we can't forget about the About Us page, which it should provide the information about our links to social media, our address, our business hours, our email, in any way that we offer to provide a good experience for the client should they want to reach us. And other common pages that we have to include and we can't forget about is, depending on the nature of your business, but maybe have like your return policy, your payment policies, your privacy, and how do you treat their information, and everything else that they need to know, including like an FAQ page for like most frequent questions and so forth. And of course, if you are looking to share information and educate your consumer, well, you might use, for example, a tool like a blog to provide additional information that could attract them to come back and often to your website. Now, the $1 million question here is, should you create your website? If you're wondering, like, should I create my website or should I hire somebody? Right. So again, like the perennial marketing answer is, it depends, right? That's always the case, and it depends on a lot of things. So let's kind of present two situations, right? When you're looking to design the website by yourself, well, if you want to save as much cost as possible, that is absolutely valid and it's absolutely possible. You gotta just have a certain elements, like you gotta have the time to do it. You gotta have maybe some technical skills or design skills, or be willing to learn those, and that could be a good possibility. Now, I always recommend, from the business standpoint, as a business consultant, to consider, for example, the opportunity cost that you're going to incur, because you're going to be sacrificing some time to develop this business, because you're going to be now dedicating time to learn a tool to create a website that maybe is not your strong suit. So it depends. It is absolutely possible. You just have to make an analysis on the return on investment. If you can generate more money by building more relationships, by taking care of more clients, by providing the services, and maybe you enjoy that better than sitting in a computer to try to come up with a website, well, maybe that's not the best for you. You're not going to get the greatest result. And you got to think also like long term, right? Like, how are you going to help your business, build trust, communicate well, and earn more business, So I'd say, it depends. And that's a very personal decision. You know yourself, and you just have to think about this. Now, some other tools I offer, for like people that are trying to do it themselves, for example, like website builders, or page builders, like we call them too. For example, I work on WordPress platforms with Elementor. That's it helps to speed up the process. It's usually like responsive for like different devices and different computers, and whatnot, and you can control more of those elements without having to write any code. Now, professionally designed templates are also available. Some are like pre-designed and free to use. So, like all of these elements are already available there, like to improve your SEO, like it's all that you can do. Again, it's up to you, right? And learning how to use and how to navigate. Sometimes it might take you longer to discover how to do something or how to find the right tool for you. And here is where sometimes just kind of working with a professional can give you some leverage their knowledge and their experience to either guide you through the process so you can do it yourself with a little bit of help as a consultant, or you can hire out somebody that has the experience, that has the time, that has the know-how and the knowledge to provide you not only with just executing on it, but also maybe like considering improving your content and your messaging, and be able to present yourself more professional in a way that you build that relationship with the client. So that it really depends. And again, you should consider the cost benefit, not only focusing on on how much you're going to save, but also on like growing your business, right? So you just have to kind of always think about the return on investment. Now, let's not forget that the customer's perception of how you present your business yourself in the world, right? The branding, it makes such an important impact on the client, right? So you have to really decide based on that. So that will be like the answer. Now, did you know that we, JLB Media, we offer hosting services? Well, we do. We work with a team of professionals that provide like very customized service. And for our hosting services, we offer them as like in a boutique style. We're not the cheapest. We're also not the most expensive. We have like really very effective plans that are optimized for like a WordPress site. Well, I'll talk a little bit more about it, but we work for with entrepreneurs, small business owners who are like into this category where like they just want to have a platform and want to have a WordPress ready so they can start building their website and release it to the world and do it all on their own. Absolutely. And we can help with that, and also like providing with some basic guidance on like what tools to use, or maybe they get stuck on some sort of like a plugin or tool, or they just don't know how to solve or which one to use. So then we might be able to provide our own input, right? You always have the decision at the end, but for a very reasonable cost, we can kind of help you save money that way. We also at the same time offer web design services. If you want to know more, you can definitely talk to us. I have to also do this. I can't forget about like sharing something that I'm very pleased to announce today, which is a new hosting plan service for WordPress websites. And we are calling it Startup Saver Hosting Plan, which is aimed at new business owners, entrepreneurs who want to create their own website, or those who wish for an agency like us to design it for them. What does it include? Well, like we offer like this again boutique style hosting service because it's a personalized service, run by humans. Like if you need to talk to us or if you need to send us an email, we'll follow up. Like I have personally, you know, had to face, these large, massively huge um, hosting companies where it's hard to just talk to a person. They try to funnel you through like a bot, and sometimes you don't get the answer. And if you don't, then you gotta send an email. Maybe you gotta wait like 24, 48 hours, or you have to call somebody, and then you're gonna be waiting on the phone for like 1, 2 hours. And I'm not exaggerating. So if you can deal with that, if you're okay doing that, that's fine. We're probably not for you. But if you want like more something more personalized that we can really help you resolve the problem or kind of guide you in the right direction, someone that you can trust, and kind of like let that up to us, and so you can focus on doing what you do best, and that's working for your business. Maybe you should consider working with us. So we offer an environment that is optimized for WordPress platform. We provide the plugin updates. We have the general backups on the cloud servers, with redundancy built in there, so if there's additional security for the information. We include also the Elementor Pro license, so you don't have to buy it separate. It's already included as long as you keep the hosting plan. And we also throw the SSL security certificate. And this is for like a website, for example. And well, like if you want to know more and you're interested, well, scan the QR code and check out like the different plans that we have. And yeah, or just kind of go and visit us at jlmedia.com/hosting. And my suggestion here is like, don't wait, start now. If you have a good idea, if you have a good product and service, you want to make the world better, you want to provide solutions for other people that can really benefit from what you have to do, and you've been toying around with the idea and you've been like, okay, I gotta have a website, but I don't know if I should do it or not. Again, the I hope that this really helps you. I'm trying to remove those excuses and hopefully kind of help you, get into that little next step, which is for you to get your a good, solid, professional, successful online presence on the web. And yes, there will be other things that you will need to do, but having a website where you will be spending a lot of efforts to bring people to, that should be the tool that it will be specifically designed to get you the best results, right? So no more excuses. And as always, let's go for more. Thank you.